So this is the latest DC update for us to have UCS 6248 fabric interconnects, chassis 5108, B200 M4 Palo mezzanine card and 1342. Build a UCS architect if you want. So this is what you can see. This is my fabric interconnect A, fabric interconnect 2, IP addressing like this, cluster IP, L1, L2 links, and these links will be the ones that goes to my chassis. You cannot, this one. These are your input output modules, and this is your fabric interconnect. Same over here, input output module and upstream. Getting the point? Do you want to see it again?
No, I wanted to see the four requirements for UCS stuff. You got the same things, right?
The four things, same. Fabric interconnects, the chassis, the blade server and mezzanine cards. Mezzanine, yeah. Yes. Mezzanine, what should be there? You can use this one. 1240, 1280 or 1340. So UCS requires these four. If you are presenting, giving a solution to somebody, you must add the fabric interconnects. You must add the UCS chassis. So these are some tech specs about your UCS 6120, 20 fixed modules and 10 gigabit also supports FCOE. If you, this is your 6120, 160 servers. So if I say one fabric interconnect, if I say one fabric interconnect and two fabric interconnect, this fabric interconnect has how many ports? If I say this is a 6120, how many ports? 20 ports. 2 ports if I put on a UCS machine, like this, like this. How many ports have I utilized? Only 2, right? I have 18 more ports. So if you say 2 ports means how many 10 UCS chassis can be managed? Actually, it depends on the link that you use, but 10 UCS systems like this. One more UCS system over here. Same. One more UCS system from this side. 2 links over here. So it builds a big scenario. Only 2 fabric interconnects. This is 1 rack unit. If I say 6120, 20 ports, 1 rack unit. How many UCS systems can it manage?
2 is essential, right? 1 for input, 1 for output, right?
It's not like that. This, you can have 1 or 2, no worries. You can have 1 also, you can have 2 also, 4 also, 8 also. If this is a 5108, if you have 8 ports over here, you can connect 8 ports towards upstream FI. Depends, but bare minimum is 2. If you are having 2, then it's good. You can also use 1. No worries.
Is there any option to bundle or the?
You can do that. Yes, yes. You can create a port channel. I'll show you that also. So what we can do is, we can see. So first basically we should understand what are the type of devices required, and then we can go. So 6120 has 20 ports, 6140 has 40 ports. Double the size, 2 rack units, 40 fixed ports, again 2 expansion modules, 40 chassis. If I say, like, if I say 40 chassis, every chassis will have 8 half width blades, and every device can support 200. This is 160, 3200 virtual machines. This is, if I say, this supports 40 chassis. UCS chassis, every chassis has 8 half width blades. Every half width blade. If I say, how do I get this number? My CCNA adapter supports 256 virtual machines, right? I take a bare amount of 200 only. How many virtual machines? 3000 virtual machines. Again, virtual switching will be required. We will go in that later on, but as of now, just see the power of this one. So B series, this is the one that we are using, 6000 series, 2nd gen, 48 ports, unified ports, 48 UP. So we have this one, and this is the second type, 5108, blade series, half width and full width. So B series servers connect on the backplane inside the UCS. So if I say that I have a B series blade. Inside in here, I have a blade for that matter, and your IO module should be somewhere here. Actually, there are IO modules in this fashion. Real time, if you see, IO is over here. So it's like your crossbar fabric. If you see, we have the soup module. Soup module is over here. IO module is over here. How do they both connect? They both connect via the backplane Ethernet. If you recall it. So this is what the statement says. The B series connects to the backplane inside the UCS using the MEX card. So this server will have an adapter over here. This adapter is added to the IO module, and this IO module goes up to the fabric interconnect. Getting the point? And these are our adapters: virtual interface card, VIC 1240, LAN on motherboard, Intel Xeon processors, 1240, 1280, M81KR, virtual NICs and virtual host bus adapters. If you are having FCOE, you require virtual adapters. Now, if you say, I don't have this type of virtual environment, I don't have so many virtual machines, why do I buy a chassis like this? Why do I invest so much into my B series blade servers? I have only, if you say I only have 20 or 30 virtual machines, why should I buy a chassis that accommodates 3000 virtual machines, right? At that time, you can give your client a solution of a C series. This is your Cisco C series rack mount pizza box servers. This is not in your chassis. This is just a single physical box. In here, you can connect it with the FI. You can connect this with the fabric interconnect, single or however you want. And then you can install your operating system over here. See, what you will do is, for example, if I say ESXi, this is my hypervisor. On this hypervisor, I will run multiple virtual machines. For example, if I say, let's go on Cisco systems and let's compare. Let's go. Let's see servers unified computing, B series and C series. In your chassis, if you are talking about UCS, you can have B series. If you don't have a chassis, you can directly buy one C series. Let us see. We can connect this with the FI, fabric interconnect. I'll show you in my DC. Yes, I'll show you in my DC. So if I say compare modules,
directly connected to the
FI, fabric interconnect.
In the 5K also, or 2K.
Let's check. See, let's compare this one first. If you want to manage a server, you require the fabric interconnect. Let's go more inside. So if I say this is a C22 M3 or C200 M3, I think this is the one that we have in the DC. M4 or M3 I have. I think we have the M3 one. The price range of this 2,400 per server. If you calculate this in Indian rupees, 2397, rough rate of 67, 1,60,000 rupees. One pretty looking box like this, 1,60,000 rupees. What are the tech specs of this one? See, if you see the familiarity, all have Intel Xeon processors. Intel Xeon processors. The form factors, one form factor. This is the operating system that you can put on this. Usually we are in a virtualized environment, so we will use vSphere 5.5, 6.0 being the latest one. I'll tell you about virtualization later on, but as of now, just think of it as a simple operating system. Once we go into hypervisors,
What is the use of form factor?
Form factor is how many rack units is this going to take. If you're using, if you're taking a data center on lease, a data space or lease, you have to tell them how many rack units is my device. What is the power consumption? How much is the heat generated by that? So you need to tell all the tech specs. So they will bill you according to that. See, maximum memory, 512 GB, 16 DDR, DDR3 dual inline memory modules. This is a normal server, but the size of it is different. We are usually used to seeing the normal servers, right? That we have cabinet kind of servers. But this is internal storage and all, USB thumb drive, built-in RAID, redundant array of independent disk or inexpensive disks, PCI slots on this one, So if you plan to buy only one server, you can buy a C series. But if you say I want a chassis type of environment, then you can go back on to the B series blade servers, and you can compare the modules of your B series. So if I say the updated says B200 M4 series, let's check B200 M4 series. B200 M4, isn't it? This one. Let us check what are the tech specs. B200 M4, you can see this is how it looks like. This here should be a power button also. See here, there is a power button also. And take it out. Here you can have your hard disks over here also. You can have two of them if they say. Validated design guides. Always see what is the design guide saying. Cisco also has its own validated design guide. Cisco.com/go/CVD. Very good for you to know. Cisco.com/go/Cisco validated designs. Should go and check the design zone area, but we'll go there later on. The form factor, half width, chipset 6100 up to 24 DDR4 dual inline memory module, mezzanine adapters 2, hard drive options up to 3.2 terabytes of internal storage. There will be many things like this. Latest features of VIX. So if you want to see which virtual interface card it supports, you can go and check with the VICs also. But we will deploy VIC 1340 with it. Here you will have more. Okay, we can go more inside Cisco.com, products and services. Here if I say, I want to see server adapters. What is the adapter here? It shows you 1340 latest adapters from Cisco. So you should see all what they are giving, should compare. This is how your VIC 1340 should look like. See this part over here. If I open the UCS Blade server, this part should connect with the backplane of your IO module, you can say. Heatsink and all is there. VXLAN features, NVGRE, UCS ROC, many new features, NetFlow, and see that is where I came up with this number 256 dynamic virtual adapters. So if this I have one physical adapter, this can give me these number of virtual NICs, and these virtual NICs I will present to my virtual machines.
So NetFlow is the tool.
See, if you are in the UCS machine, you should use this tab. This is a very important tab, finite state machine. For example, if you have created a service profile and you want to deploy it, what is happening in the backend, it will tell you the progress state, errors and all. You can also use these features you for managing. See, there is a database that uses XML API in the background. So you can develop your own tool with XML and you can manage your UCS machine like that. Let us see. See, this is your tabs in the UCS, but we'll see that later on. Let us go in our virtual machine. Let me show you one more document. This is all the tech specs about that. I'll share the documentation. See, the highest range, C400 is 17 grand, $17,000. This supports the latest VMware also, this one, 6.0 vSphere. The heartbeat between them, the failover, how it works, the chassis management controller, chassis management switch. See, there are these two main components of the chassis. The CMC, chassis management control, this monitors the chassis components such as fans, units. Just note down these two components, the chassis management controller and chassis management switch. So the CMC will manage the hardware stuff, you can say. This also reads the component identification, and the chassis management switch. IPMI, data travels in, or how does it do? So here you can see I am using my VMware vSphere client, and we are in a virtual machine. This is my virtual machine, and I will log in on my virtual machine in here. So if your fabric interconnect is perfectly set, the day last day we set it, we gave the cluster IP, we gave the cloud IP address, and here if you want, you can launch the UCS manager. I think I have the Java file already downloaded. It should come up. FIA, it has detected this one. So here we are on a unified computing system, right? The first thing you should notice here is your tabs. If you are an admin, you should be careful about these things. This is your critical faults page. Where will it take you? It will directly take you to the admin tab. So first, always notice what is the critical issue, and then major faults, minor faults, and warnings. Critical faults must not be there. It is not good. But as of now, this is a testing environment. So here you can see this is my equipment. My equipment is fabric interconnects and chassis. See, this is wrong, right? What is the issue over here? See, I have a chassis. It has some issues. We can go over. See, I have a B series blade in here. What B series? It should come up in the part details and all. It can, if you want to surf more, you will see this is the part number SKU and all, 6 units. This is your FSM tab. See, something is power cap is going on 100% okay. If you double click also, it is successful. So it's good. The server is okay. You can scroll more up if you want to read this. There are many things inside the FSM. So we'll surf more about the FSM. See, you can say copy XML. If you say copy XML, it will tell you the XML file. He will show you on the notepad. Because I'm remoting on this, you can check the power of this. What is the installed firmware in a graphical view if you want. See this much power it is taking. How many power supply units? I have 4 PSUs, but 2 are only operable. Installed firmware on the chassis, BIOS controllers and our B200M1, M81KR we have. So if you are on the equipment tab, here you can see the faults and all, the chassis. What are the faults with this chassis? See, fan 2 in module 1, under chassis speed, under non-critical. What is this critical fault if you want? Fan 1, in fan 1. You can say this is some false alarms, maybe sometimes. Thermal problem, it's okay, it's corrected, it seems. Severity okay. Chassis. So let's go on equipment tab. Policies. See here, you are telling me, right? How many links can be there from an FI? You can have only one link also. You can have 2 links also. This is the discovery policy. If you set it to 4, and if you have 2 links only, it will not discover the chassis. You have to be very sure how many links are going from FI to my chassis, and do you want to create a port channel, and you have to save the changes over here. Then your chassis will be acknowledged.
Okay, there are 2 fabric interconnects.
Yes. So let us see. This is about another policies are also there. So first of all, you should see this topology view. Here, let us see what all things do we have. We have fabric interconnects. We have 2 fabric interconnects. One is primary, one is subordinate. So if you want to configure anything, see fixed modules. How many fixed modules do I have? How many Ethernet ports? I can go from here also. I can go in here also. See, I can configure my ports. See if it says 6 and 7, what is it? See here you can say right click. If I say this is my fabric interconnect A or fabric interconnect B. This goes to my UCS chassis. I want that the port from here to here, sorry. For example, if you say this is the port number 1, no worries, we'll do that later on. If I say this is the port number 1, you can configure your port number. So if you say that this port goes down, you can configure this port number over here. You are talking about the fabric interconnect. For example, this port number is 5. Just taking an example, this is the 5th port that goes to the UCS. You can go on that 5th port over here and you can right click and you can say, I want to configure this port. Configure as a server port. If it is going up, you want to configure it as an upstream port, uplink port. So depending on your design, you will tell me that, okay, so let us take a small diagram. So in this diagram, this is my UCS chassis, port number 1 and 2. I should configure them as server ports, right? And port number 5 is FCOE for me. So I can configure, and port number 6 and 7 are my uplink ports. So how do I configure that 6 and 7? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go into our virtual machine and let us configure port number 6 and 7. Port number 6, you can do it like this also. Port number 6 and 7, right click, you can say configure as an uplink port, right? Or whatever the connection may be, you can say it is already configured. I will say unconfigure it and I want to say reconfigure. Where should I configure? Configure as uplink ports. Yes, configure it. And if you say I want to put these two ports are going upstream. For example, if you say this, I have 2 ports that are going up. This is my 6 and this is my 7 going to another 5K over here. And you do VPC over there. For example, I say that this is my 5K series. It's very slow over here, no worries. If I say that I want to have a port channel between these 2 links, you can also do that. If the upstream device is a 5K or 7K running a VPC, you can configure this into a port channel also. How will you do that? See, if you say anything about port channel or IP addresses or MAC addresses, it is related to LAN, go in the LAN tab. Better? So anytime I talk about anything related to LAN, I should be in the LAN tab. So here, see, there is a filter applied, so I cannot see anything about port channels. Remove this filter. Here it will show me what are all the tabs available, what are all the things. Let us wait for this. It will come up, and if I say all, it will show me all the tabs over here. Come on, big boy. Be a bit fast. Policies. Please show me all. So I am on the LAN cloud. This is all, no filter applied. Here you can say, see, FIA or FIB. If I am talking about my fabric interconnect A, I should be on my fabric A. See, you have another place also. You can go from LAN cloud, or you can go from on the LAN uplinks manager. Multiple places, single job. Right? If I say configure a port channel, you can also go over here, or you can go from here, fabric A, and then see, you can create VLANs over here, server links, MAC ID assessments. So if I say fabric interconnect A, create a port channel over here. How do I create a port channel? It is very simple. Just say it's software defined networking. It's very fast. No need for saying anything. Port ID, anything. Name is PO1. I'll simply say next after this. This is the name of my port channel. How many links should be there in the port channel. That you have to decide after this. If I say my link number 6 and 7, shift and select them, put them inside a port channel, and bam, your port channel, see, duplicate object detected. Oh, maybe there is a port channel number previously configured. So I'll say port channel ID 10, PO10, next. Kindly accept this. Successfully created a port channel. So if you want to configure anything on the UCS, it is very simple, very straightforward. You should be in the LAN for configuring the LAN over here. If you see over here, if I click on the port channel tab, it will tell me that how many port channels are there. So I did this on, see, PO1 is already there. PO10 has two interfaces, interface 6 and interface 7. Similarly, if you have the same job, you can go on FIB, do the same job again. So see the diagram and configure the port channel over there. Let's go on a FIB and create a port channel on FIB also. So let's say port channel ID 10, name of the port channel. Come on, big boy. Remote system is a little slow. PO name, PO10. I'll simply say next after it. Next. And these two interfaces, if I want to put in a port channel, say next. 6 is a port channel on FIB. Okay. Moving will impact. Okay. What is? Are you sure you want to move this in the port channel? Yes. Saving changes, port channel created. If you see port channels, it is created. This is on the fabric ID B. Here you can also create VLANs. If you say create VLAN on FIB, it will be only on FIB. If I want to say on the LAN cloud, you can create LAN. So depending on the task you want to do, you can create. See, it says common VLAN. If I say what is the VLAN name or the prefix, I can say VLAN 10. And what is the VLAN ID? VLAN ID is 10. And do you want to do private VLAN stuff? No. And check overlap. Is there any VLAN earlier configured? I'll say no. Okay. And I will say open. Okay. See, successfully creating. It's a very simple job, very easy, very straightforward. How to create a VLAN? How many port channels? So if you say port channel must pass this VLAN, you should allow that also. So if I want to see more, you can see copy, delete, or show the port channel. As of now, you can disable. Overall status is disabled. Why? Because my upstream switch is off. That's why it is disabled. See faults. What are the events? What are the statistics? You can serve all the statistics in here. See the chart also if you want. Ports, general tab, flow control policy. Simple as that. Okay, getting the point of how to create small things. If I say I want to create an IP address pool or a MAC pool, it will be under the pools section. You have to scroll a little down. Here is the pools section. And you are talking about IP. So it is going to be in the LAN tab. You can create an IP pool. You can create a MAC pool like that. If I say I want to create a PWWN pool, then that PWWN pool will be inside your SAN tab. See, SAN tab has its own vSANs. If I say vSAN, it is related to SAN. See, virtual HBAs, I can create SAN connectivity policies, storage and SAN connectivity. With pools, I can create a pool of node worldwide names, port worldwide names, and policies related to it. So what type, see, you have two main important components, pool and a policy. For you to create, go on the final step of creating a service profile. So be sure you create all these things and then we will accumulate all those things over there. See, if I say pool in a storage area network, worldwide node name, worldwide port name, or WWXN for both of them. You can create simple vSANs, IQN for iSCSI qualified names. So as an architect, you will be given all these things, or you are designing, design it in a professional way, use the design guides and create a pool. Creating is again very simple. Just say right click and my pool, my underscore pool, and say sequential. Say next to it, add the blocks to it. How many you want? 128 for example. Okay. And finish the pool. How to create a pool? If you are told to create a policy, what type of policy you want to create? You should decide over here. If you want to administer your UCS chassis, or if you want to create authentication, see your fault tabs are here. If you go down, you can create user management, do Microsoft Active Directory, LDAPs, Radius, TACACS, local user services. You can create users. A very good feature, call home feature. Anything goes wrong, you will be notified via an email or something. UCS Central, policies. This is for administering the chassis. So in a nutshell, this is all about your physical equipment. This is your servers tab. Server will have your maintenance policies, scrub policies, server pools, UUID pool, here local disk and or adapter policies. Here is the Iron Man of Cisco. This is a service profile. So first we create pools, we create policies, and then we create virtual adapters, virtual NICs, and we call all of them in this service profile. The Iron Man suit is all service profile. Tomorrow we will see how to create a service profile, very basic. We will create all the pools policies. We will create adapters, virtual NICs, virtual HBS, and finally we will call all them in a service profile. And we will create in an expert mode, and this is all it will ask us. So it will ask us, we have two ways. We can configure here directly, or we can create it first and then we can call it. Depends on the scenario, how you want to design it like that. Okay, so let's stop here.